New Zealand's largest city, Auckland, is all about the coastline and the ocean. The wonderful sweeping beaches, the familiar sight of Rangitoto Island, magnificent seaside suburbs like Mission Bay, and of course the city that hosted the America's Cup. And probably the best known landmark of all, the Sky Tower, which presides over the city. And Auckland is the venue tonight for game 16 at the Rugby World Cup in 2011. Eden Park, the venue of the 1987 World Cup final, and it's Australia against Ireland. And this is a big game in Pool C. Both sides starting with a win. Australia got the bonus point against Italy. Ireland beat the USA. USA beat Russia, and Italy and Russia have yet to score any points so far in the competition. Well, it's a wonderful crowd at Eden Park. We had capacity on opening night when the All Blacks played Tonga. We're not that far short of capacity here. Looking round would think maybe a couple of thousand short.
Well, that's all that was available this morning, and a few of them would have gone today, I'm sure.
So now the two teams have emerged from their dressing rooms. The nervous walk down the tunnel. There's been quite a build-up to this match. It's one of these heavyweight clashes that comes around during the Rugby World Cup, and it makes a big difference regarding who wins the pool, who comes second in the pool, who plays who in the quarterfinals. And these two teams are well aware that that is at stake here tonight. There's James O'Connor. Now Brian O'Driscoll, who hasn't always had fond memories of playing rugby in New Zealand, came here as the Lions captain in 2005, got injured. And this really is the last hurrah for a veteran player, a great veteran player, it has to be said. So the two teams will come together in the tunnel. So as the two teams come out, a look at the Australian side. Robbie Deans has gone with his #1 lineup, although there's no Digby Ioane, no David Pocock, and now no Stephen Moore either. He's out with illness, replaced by Pilota now, but there's still plenty of quality. James O'Connor back in the starting lineup, while the Guinea Cooper combination will again challenge the opposition. And such is the importance of this game. The Irish coach Declan Kidney has gone with his strongest possible side, chock full of experience. You only have to look at the locking combination, O'Connell and O'Callaghan, 155 caps between them. And the midfield duo of Darcy and O'Driscoll, 170 tests, and his 45th time together as a combination. So those are the 30 players who will take the field. And a few changes in the reserves now for Australia. Sai Fainga has come in as the reserve hooker. And the other change in the loose department, where Wycliffe Palu is now the loose forward reserve. So the crowd in a state of high excitement here at Eden Park as we stand by now for the respective national anthems.
Federation Anthem Choir.
Two rousing anthems, the Australian national anthem and the national anthem of Ireland. Stand by. Australia versus Ireland.
Well, you could see the concentration on the faces of the Irish. Bit of red mist there. I reckon they are well fired up for this match. Not often you see here at Eden Park the colours of these teams. Lots of green for Ireland, lots of gold for Australia. A lot of people have travelled across the Tasman for this match this morning and are here in New Zealand for the weekend, come to support their team.
So let's have a look at one or two of these players. There's Jamie Heaslip, there's big Paul O'Connell, the British Lions captain, but of course Brian O'Driscoll does the job for Ireland. Jonathan Sexton, who is preferred to Ronan O'Gara these days in the starting lineup for Ireland. There is the great Brian O'Driscoll. It's the only word to describe him. He is a great player and will go down in history as one of the very best. So Ireland are ready to go. The Australians have been in a tight little group, and we're not too far away from the start of this long-awaited contest here at Eden Park. Pool C at the Rugby World Cup. Australia against Ireland. Ian Smith is sidelined tonight. Conditions?
Well, at the moment, Nismo, they're very good. And I've got to tell you that they're just outstanding because the wind is predominantly a westerly here. It's coming left to right, Grant, so that means Australia have it at their back. There's been rain throughout the day. There's none at the moment. Bryce Lawrence in control of this. He'll feel quite at home at Eden Park. But for both these sides, it's a very rare opportunity to play against each other here. And psychologically, it's a big night too for both sides, because if you're going to win the World Cup, you're going to have to do very well on this particular ground, Grant.
Absolutely right. This is a heavyweight contest, no doubt about that, at Eden Park at Auckland, and Quade Cooper gets the match underway, and it's almost gone too far, and in fact it has. The touch judge has got the flag up. Now I suspect he stepped into touch. Yes, he did. He probably could have stretched out and taken play right back to halfway.
Oh, that's a lack of awareness from Keith Earls, not understanding where the touchline was. All he had to do was put a foot over the touchline, catch it after the foot was on the touchline, and went back on halfway.
So the first line out to be thrown by Tarafu Pilota now, and the first one is a good one, and Genia gets it away into centre field to Pat McCabe. And Australia, they've got it up off the ground here, the Irish, and they'll try and keep him up there as well, which means the ball will be turned over. Australia realise the problem, and it's too late. Keith Lawrence blows the whistle, and Ireland have the turnover ball.
Oh, tempers early, you can...
Oh, they've got a penalty as well, I think.
You can see the tension in this match.
There's a penalty against Dan Vickerman, number 4.
The penalty's against you, 10 metres. Number 4.
Well, it's an explosive start, and I think we expected that.
We certainly did, and it was a poor carry by Pat McCabe, who went into contact far too high.
Ireland have taken it the other way, and they give an opportunity out for Tommy Bowe down that right wing side, and that's good play by Ireland. Australia expected it to come to this near side, and they weren't ready.
Well, perhaps Ireland have come with the idea of taking Australia at their own game. Their traditional game probably won't be good enough, so if they try and play an up-tempo game as well, which Australia clearly do, you just never know what'll happen.
Well, no Stephen Moore. He pulled out inside the last couple of hours, and Pallotta now has a reputation of not being able to throw that well, and hacked ahead here by O'Callaghan, and Australia's going to save the day. Adam Ashley Cooper will dot it down for a restart from the 22.
Well, O'Callaghan would have been better diving on the ball there. It was just a hack ahead. Always had a chance of going into the in-goal area and letting Australia off the hook. A midfield ruck with Ireland having the ball might have created some pressure for Australia.
Well, Ireland often start all fire and brimstone, but can they keep it going for 80 minutes? That is the key, as the kickoff is made, and it's beautifully taken down by Gordon Darcy. And again, Ireland have the ball back, and O'Driscoll's dropped it cold, and he went it backwards according to referee Lawrence. And so Ireland still have it right in centre field as they work it across to Sean O'Brien. Relatively inexperienced flanker taken down by Samo. Now Redden hands it on to O'Connell, and big O Paul O'Connell. And Ireland have had all the early ball so far. Another loose pass snapped up by Heaslip, and down he goes. Still near the 10-metre line. Australia fancy their chances of turning this over here, and they've got numbers. And Genia will plug it away down the touch. And Australia, putting players in, were able to turn the ball over.
Oh, just intelligent play. They recognise the opportunity. And as they so often do when they're near a touchline with a turnover, Genia will knock it over the top with a kick. Just enough pressure there from Australia just to win the counter ruck. And there's Genia. Nice little kick towards the touchline.
Rory Best. O'Connell. And Elsom went up and challenged. And the knock-on came from Paul O'Connell. So, Wallaby scrum.
Elsom just stayed where he was pretty much. O'Connell went back, then tried to come forward. Elsom stayed in front of him and just forced the error. So first scrum of the match. A couple of big packs. Aussie very stable in this area of the game now, if not dominant sometimes. So they'll back themselves in this phase of the game.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Good first scrum from both sides as Genia clears it out to Cooper. Cooper running straight into the... he's still got it, Quade Cooper, what a run. And then he's thrown it away, threw it forward. He made the initial bust. And now looks like Keith Lawrence, Bryce Lawrence, sorry. Keep calling him Keith. That's his father, of course, Bryce Lawrence. He's not happy about the tackle.
Well, it was high, the tackle, but what comes first here? Knock-on was the first infringement.
Yeah, I know. Time off, please. I was playing a knock-on. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a high tackle by 15 green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a penalty.
Okay, and where's the mark?
It's straight for the move.
And how many metres in?
10 in.
15?
No.
Okay.
No,
15. 10 green.
15 green.
Yeah.
And we're going 10 metres in.
Right, I've got that sorted.
And here we have a look at it as Cooper goes into Redden, bounces out and wide. And Carney just on the reflex really certainly high. And obviously, it's the foul play that, even though it was the second offence, it sort of wins the day.
Yes, it was weird after the fact.
It was still pretty dangerous, though, Grant, to be fair, and it had to be dealt with. So I think Bryce Lawrence actually did the right thing too. He really did take his time getting over for the conversation with his assistant referee, and I think he did that on purpose because he just feels there's a little bit of heat here that he just wants to settle for a while. A number of confrontations, a bit of pushing and shoving.
It's a test match, Ian. We want the heat, don't we?
I know you and I, and
that's what the crowd want to see too.
But Bryce Lawrence very, very deliberate about what he's doing at the moment.
Well, there's a few goal kickers in this Australian team. James O'Connor is the preferred kicker. But if things went a little bit astray, you could call on Kurtley Beale or Quade Cooper or even Adam Ashley Cooper. No good.
It was just kept pulling to the left. It looked like it was going to hit an upright, but just went to the left of it.
Chasers, guys.
So 6.5 minutes gone at Eden Park. No scorers yet.
Chasers.
Jonathan Sexton. Cooper has waited way back in Wallaby territory. Off now to Beale. And the weighted kick from Kurtley Beale. He's only got his eyes on the ball. That was beautifully done. And he found Elsom as well. And the Wallabies rampaging inside the 22, ripping it across to Fainga, but met head-on by O'Driscoll. Good solid front-on tackle by the skipper. Now Genia away for James Horwell.
Roll!
And the Wallabies having their first real shot at it. And they're going to get a penalty as well, as it's taken up by McKelman in the number 7 jersey. Advantage continues as Genia wrestled to the ground, but they're only 10 metres away in centre field now. Pallotta now 5 metres away as Vickerman reaches in. Advantage is gone now, so the Wallabies need to cash in. Samo as Genia. Now Pallotta now goes again. Great tackle on him by loose head prop Kian Healy. But the Wallabies will be dangerous if they go left. They're short. They're Ireland, but they don't get the opportunity, and they will have a scrum.
And it's not going to get any easier for Ireland to defend.
Quarter the advantage over 1 metre.
Bryce Lawrence was really quick. And I think it might have been O'Connell, maybe O'Callaghan not rolling away. Great weighted kick by Beale. Didn't really try to kick it too high. Tried to get it right there so he could compete one-on-one, and he did it brilliantly to Elsom. Some desperate goal line defence here, and this is where advantage was over.
Well, Rory Best was the player there, the Irish player, over the top, and he just did enough, didn't he? He was lying on top of the ruck, put his hand over the ball, and it was on the opposite side to where Bryce Lawrence was. And that's halted Australia's progress until now.
Well, options both sides here. Really hard for Ireland to defend.
Samo wants to detach.
Just in the background, Rob Carney is deep in the in-goal area trying to pick a side, which I just don't understand, because from there, he's so far back from the try line, he's not going to stop anybody.
Guys, the attitude's fantastic.
Now he might be coming forward, asked to
You don't hold him.
by Darcy. We need you in the line, buddy.
They go right there, a great chance here, Australia.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
Well, Samo was coming right originally. Let's see if they stay with that ploy. No, they're going to get a penalty.
You dropped your binder, went under.
And it'll be against Healy on this loose head side. And this really is a gift.
Oh, this will be the best outcome for Ireland, because it is so hard to defend from a 5-metre scrum when you've got to stand 5 metres back as a back line. And with the firepower Australia have got, whichever side they went, 5-pointer was a likely outcome, so Ireland won't be disappointed if it's only 3.
Yeah.
See the scrum here, Aussie just sunk a little bit, got the pressure on, and it was Cian Healy who lost his bind. Oh, the Aussie bench very happy about that, so they should be. Good scrum, Australia.
Good pressure, Australia, really. Superb work, backing up that brilliance from Courtney Beale. A little half break from Quade Cooper. Guinea, a good touch, a good little run from him. A strong possession and a very big tackle. So the key players, the key elements for Australia are in this early on.
Can't believe how far O'Connor's taken this ball back. Should have it nearly 10 metres further forward.
All concentration, James O'Connor, and through it goes. And after just 11 minutes, Australia have the lead.
Well, he was always going to kick it. The further back you are, the further the ball's got to travel, the more room for error. When you're that close to the goalpost, you only need to go back about 10 metres. But he got it anyway. So Aussie get first points.
Well, way ahead in territory and possession. The Wallabies are rewarded finally as Sexton makes the restart. Vickerman reaching up. Plenty of pressure coming from Ireland. And Guinea, well, he was going to kick it. In the end, he had to bail out and go with Quade Cooper. Now Beale, Fainga, McCabe through the tackle of O'Driscoll. And Australia running themselves out of trouble as Guinea sends it across to Cooper. Horwell hit hard, good tackle. And not released.
Oh, O'Connell, brilliant tackle, waiting for Horwell. Just had eyes for him only. And Horwell fell in the wrong position for his forwards. Perfectly for Ireland to go in and try and snaffle it at the breakdown.
So they got out of that, Ireland, because Australia, with that counter-attack, when Guinea went left all of a sudden, it looked as if they just for a little bit of 6s and 7s wide out. But it was good supporting play from Stephen Ferris, got across there to help Brian O'Driscoll just slow the momentum down, and then of course the big hit from O'Connell.
That was Mike Ross, wasn't it? I think the tight head prop who got in at the breakdown after O'Connell's tackle. So Sexton, his 21st Test match, just the one try, but 145 points. So with a couple of kicks tonight, he'll have a chance. A couple of successful kicks to bring up 150 points in Test rugby. This is his first chance. Not great stats there. He's better than that.
Well, this is basically into a very light breeze, so distance should not be an issue.
Always going away to the right from the boot of Johnny Sexton, and it remains 3-0 to the Wallabies. 13 minutes gone, first half.
Well, we have an interesting kickoff scenario from the 22. The Wallabies, they bring Cooper all the way over. You can take it through anywhere along the line, behind the line, of course. Line your forwards out. You can pick a target anywhere from sort of 10 yards away to right over on the far touchline. Hard for Ireland to get enough players to compete for the ball.
So he belts it all the way downfield. And Sexton. Now who's lining this up? It's going to be Beale. And Rob Carney wins the battle. So the two fullbacks came together and Carney did a great job. And now it's Keith Earls from the left wing side for Ireland. 10 out from the 22-metre line. Now Darcy taking a good tackle by Pilotta now as Ireland move it across to tight head prop Mike Ross. Jersey worn for so long by John Hayes as Ireland go through hooker Best. That's a beautiful pass to O'Driscoll. And Ireland inside the 22. Redden digging in deep to try and find it. Now it's Sean O'Brien. And Ireland looking good here. as the little stab kick through. Now the chase is on, but it's gone too far. And Genia can drop it onto the ground, and they'll go back to the 22. But no, referee Lawrence has got Australia for offside.
No, it was for Elsom, Grant, I think. Clear space on the tackle. By that he means release. And Bryce Lawrence saw something in the last tackle. So
10 metres.
O'Driscoll, just a little half break. In behind the Wallabies, they were scrambling. They were still holding strong. That's Curtly Beale after Carney got over top of him.
Well, he'll feel good, Grant, too, about that, because it was Beale that stole it off him about 5 minutes ago and set up that Australian attack. So a real confidence booster for Rob Carney there to get involved and get one over Curtly Beale.
Well, what an atmosphere we have here at Eden Park. Normally, of course, a crowd like this, you'd expect to see the All Blacks running around, but Ireland against Australia, 58,000. What a great crowd. Second chance for Sexton. And this time he makes no mistake. And it's 3-all after 15 minutes.
He didn't hit it that well, though. It was a low, flat one, and he's got quite a stilted run. Not much rhythm in it. So when he gets to the ball, he's using a lot of leg speed to try and generate power. There's no speed in his run up to generate body weight momentum through the ball, which helps with power.
Cooper goes to the far side with the kickoff, and beautifully claimed by Tommy Bowe, and makes it up to halfway. So Ireland now starting to win the 50-50 balls as O'Connell takes it up. Now Redden works it away to Sexton. Good running ball again here for Ireland. Here's Rob Carney taken down, but inside the 10-metre line and playing the game at good pace. Now Sexton charging onto it goes O'Connor, and O'Brien as well, as Redden sends it away to Sexton. Darcy. It's pretty crowded in midfield. Australia spreading wide. Now Sexton drops the pass off again to Carney, and the fullback goes to the setup. Now Redden needs an inside runner. O'Connell's done plenty of that already in the game. He's made a strong start. Now Heaslip. Off it goes once more. A short pass to Darcy, but he did well. He stood in the tackle. Now back on the inside it goes to Earls. And the man from Munster is inside the 22. Redden has it again. It's a real onslaught here from Ireland as Heaslip carries it up. O'Connor meets him head on. But there's a lot of green jerseys there. Now Healy. Still about 16 or 17 metres away. And O'Connell is running himself to a standstill in the early stages of this game as Ross gets there. Now he's joined by Sean O'Brien in the 7 jersey. Australian defence being tested early. Got a penalty against Australia. Now Sexton tries a drop kick. Through it goes. Johnny Sexton drops the goal, and it's 6-3.
Well, a great passage of play by Ireland. They held onto the ball through multiple phases and getting to the advantage line relatively easily. Good support at the breakdown. Ultimately won a penalty advantage, and Sexton took the opportunity to drop for goal. So they'll be pleased. They converted territory pressure into points.
Well, it was a long build-up to this. It was a penalty advantage. Again, he hit it hard, he hit it low, but he hit it straight. That's the key.
Nowhere to draw pictures.
An Irish player back on the 22 that Bryce Lawrence is attending to at the moment. But throughout that, Grant, it was very interesting to note the number of times Ireland passed in, went back in. and caught Australia napping and kept the momentum going.
Time on.
Well, here he goes back into position, and Cooper kicks it out. 18 minutes gone. Taken down by O'Brien. Chased by O'Connor, who couldn't make the tackle.
Now leave it! Stay here, please.
Now Owen Redden. Here's Healy, who's quickly recovered. Redden once more. Nice move. Sexton. And he got the pass off as well to his captain. And O'Driscoll sets it. Now Redden makes the kick. Comfortably under it, Quade Cooper gets a hearty boo from this crowd as Beale kicks ahead. Carney claims it. Beale claims him though. Beale dangerous from the back. But Ireland quickly back behind the ball. James Hall was close to being offside there. In fact, there's going to be a turnover. Beale again, and nicely controlled in the end by Sean O'Brien. And now the scrap on for the loose ball. It's right out in front of the Irish goalposts. And Ireland look as though they will control this.
One step.
Sexton position right on his own goal line. And O'Driscoll is going to have to make the pass eventually. He's going to do it himself. Oh, he left it a while too. And it just staggers over the touchline.
Well, Ian Smith, I think there's some tired bodies out there already.
Well, there are. I mean, the level of commitment from both sides has been huge, really. And Ireland at the moment just going through a much better passage of play, but the danger you just see, you turn it over anywhere near your own 22 and look out. Little grubber kick through from Beale was beautifully saved by O'Brien. It's that instinctive play you've got to guard against with Australia.
Australia use Samo. Now charging up goes Elson. Once again, Ireland have got the ball up off the ground. It is a maul. So unless they can get it down, and it will be turnover again. That's twice. Australia taking it into contact too high.
I think it was McCabe again, Grant.
Yeah. Time off.
Ashley Cooper was part of that also. This, I would suggest this is something that Ireland have practiced during the week. They would have seen this pattern of play from Australia. Off the line out, Guinea running a little bit. Hit a flat ball in the midfield, so just get a little bit lower than the ball carrier. Hit him. Don't try and drop him. Just keep him up. Wait till the cavalry arrive. And 7 missed tackles by Australia. That's high already. Just looking at the breakdowns, that's another feature already. 31-14, Ireland are winning that, so they are converting possession into some pressure against Australia. Australia winning the territory battle quite comfortably at the moment, but Ireland are getting points when they're getting at the right end of the field.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
So Redden gets it into a good, strong Irish scrum, channeled by Heaslip. And Redden is able to bang that away into touch. Both sides, they look very evenly matched in the scrums.
Yeah, it's a good contest at scrum time. Both sides are getting pretty low. Very, very low indeed, actually. Ireland rocks steady then on a defensive scrum. Made the clearing kick for Redden that little bit easier.
So Pallotta now finding Elson this time. Delivers to Guinea. Now Cooper away for Samo. They use Samo wide of the ruck again, making plenty of a nuisance of themselves, but this time they're going to be penalised if nothing comes of this. Here goes Beale, showing good pace as always. Almost to the 22-metre line. Next man off the rank is the skipper, James Horwell. He's got another penalty now, has Bryce Lawrence, further up the field. And Samo takes it in again. And Guinea works it off to Cooper. A miss-out pass, but good work by Keith Earls. He cut that out well and truly. And the players continue on. They haven't heard the whistle, but there was no advantage. And so it's a Wallaby penalty.
Could have picked any one of about 3 or 4 Irish players offside. I think it may well have been Sean O'Brien, who was the one they spotted.
Don't stand up.
Well, the first one here was against Darcy for just being in the way and being a nuisance. He had time to get out of it. He was on his feet. And it's from this break here, as they swung to the right, Australia. Or 3 or 4. It was O'Brien who came from the outside in. That would have been a practice play during the week, but he came from an offside position. But there was a couple more who were in front of the hindmost foot as well. A lot of input from the crowd, Ian Smith.
Well, it's wonderful, actually. I was just sitting here looking up in the gods, you know, the high parts of the stands, and looking way up there, and you can see all the colour. I mean, the random nature that they sell tickets around the world for these games pits Australians and Irishmen shoulder to shoulder. There's no great pockets of any one colour, really, specifically. It's just random, and it's just a hugely wonderful atmosphere, and so rare. The New Zealanders in this crowd would be thinking, where are we?
Exactly. Right, James O'Connor, 1 from 2 so far. And no mistakes this time. O'Connor raises the flags again. 24 minutes gone at Eden Park, and it's 6-all.
Oh, we're in a heck of a contest here. Scores are level. Ireland are throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Australia, who are holding strong so far, and they're looking the more threatening attacking side when they've got the opportunity. They've been few and far between. Ireland haven't been without threats as well.
Sexton's kick. Horwell waits. O'Connell got in there, but in the finish it fell into the arms of Vickerman. And Genia serves it up to Cooper. Now Beale deep from the back. Beale again takes the line on. Gets support from Fainga. Gives it off to Genia. Now Cooper with his pace. O'Driscoll drags him down. Genia. Oh, that'll be a penalty for sure. Ireland fiddling with the ball on the ground. That was silly, as Ben Alexander has it for Australia. And he has to go back, does referee Lawrence.
Well, Grant Fox, maybe the pace might just be hitting the men in green at the moment. We talked about that before, and that's 4 penalties really. They've only been pinged twice, but he's played 3 or 4 advantages in recent times, and that's just pressure.
Well, Curtly Beale's a handful, isn't he? And he's getting passes a couple wide of the ruck, coming from depth, trying to pick out some Irish forwards. That mismatch he's looking at. So here's the run of Quade Cooper. And there it is there. Not on his feet for a start. Jamie Heaslip, you can't do that.
Well, he wouldn't have fond memories of his last trip to New Zealand, Jamie Heaslip. He was actually sent off. Test match in New Plymouth. So this is a much more difficult kick for James O'Connor.
Ian, is there still a little bit of breeze at his back?
Just a hint.
Just a hint.
Just a hint. You can see, really, it's not ruffling the hair or anything like that. It's probably got a ton of gel in it, but it's not ruffling the. It's not ruffling the hair. It's just. It's very pleasant, actually. I've got to say. Beautiful conditions.
And away to the right. So he's 2 from 4 tonight, James O'Connor. 6-all it remains. 13 remaining in the first half.
Sexton will probably look long here. He's in the middle of the field. Different kickoff strategy than Australia.
One of 9 Leinster players in this Irish team. Used to be full of Munster players, but Leinster has taken over as the powerhouse really in Irish rugby. And Australia make good ground. 15 in Irish territory, and not for the first time tonight. The ball has been turned over as Australia, who took it in, couldn't free it.
Well, this is an interesting tactic from Ireland. Clearly work done during the week. They know how dangerous Australia are with quick ball. And quick ball is ruck ball, not maul ball. So they are trying to keep the ball carrier up, get the maul going, gives them the opportunity for the turnover, and that's the third time tonight they've managed to affect that.
Well, Guinea was going off there, and I think he was going off at James O'Connor because I think he was looking for O'Connor initially and then ran out of support and basically had to take it forward himself, got smothered.
Pause. Engage.
Redden gets it in, and down goes the front row.
Slipped. Slip there, let's step.
Mate was the first bit. I'm not sure we could repeat the next bit.
That just went right out. And he was fine, okay, so chase him up. Keep going. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Go.
Well, he could have got that in.
Come up. Too much movement.
This is a part of the game that is trying to be sorted out by the referees.
Best time is on engagement. Thank you.
Because a lot of time is wasted on re-engagements. No, this time, if it happens, I'm sure Bryce Lawrence will give a penalty one way or the other. Let's hope it's stable.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
Right.
Staying behind the ball.
A lot of pressure in there. Ireland couldn't get their feet moving initially. Now they do. And here's Carney up into the line from fullback. Referee's got his arm out. Offside Australia. As O'Callaghan takes it on. Now Redden away for Sexton. That'll be the end of the advantage, one would imagine, as Cooper waits. Off the shoulder it comes. And a chance out wide for Tom Bowe. He's a little bit isolated though, and he's well and truly looked after too by Adam Ashley Cooper. And he's gone back to the knock-on, which looked as though it came off the shoulder, but nevertheless.
Still a knock-on, Grant, if it comes off the shoulder. I can't believe Ireland tried to play on there. They were better to take the penalty advantage and turn it into a penalty and kick for field position with a throw to the line out. So someone needs to take ownership, and that's usually 9 or 10 around that area. Here's Cooper. Just got his hands a bit low. And that was the issue there. He kept his hands up. He had a much better chance of catching it, but Ireland, very good scrum last time. So it's midfield, and they've gone for a 3-3 split.
We're not arguing. Here it is.
Driscoll is first receiver on the right. Sexton, Darcy, Earls to the left.
Penalty.
Goal. Head and shoulders. Head and shoulders.
Well, no one specifically.
Shot.
Probably all three in the finish. And so Sexton will have an opportunity. Put Ireland back in front.
Head and shoulders.
Head and shoulders was the call. So.
And collapsing.
Oh, it was Kepu and Alexander both guilty there, really. Head and shoulders below their hips. I don't think Robbie Deans can really complain about that one. It's pretty obvious.
So much at stake in this game. Obvious tension in the coaches' boxes as well.
It's actually worse for them than the players, I reckon. They've got no outlet. They're not out there. They don't feel a sort of control and influence that the players feel.
And that's well astray. So the goal kicking tonight, letting both sides down, 6-all.
Grant Fox, to be fair, it hasn't been the high point of this tournament so far.
No, it hasn't been, and there's a little bit of chatter about the balls, isn't there? But I haven't heard too much of that. But technique there, in my view, is the issue with Jonathan Sexton. He's got no rhythm in his run-up at all, no speed. He'd be much better served if he went a bit further back, had a bit more speed in his run-up.
Shortish kickoff, and the ball knocked on by the Wallabies coming through. So this does present Ireland with a great attacking option here. Right in centre field, and only a matter of 25 metres out.
Yeah, they will go for the 3-3 split again, but Aussie have a good defensive setup from this scenario. They put 3 across to their left. Now, Ireland are changing now. Carney's gone directly behind it, just he's come all the way across, so they've spotted that Australia have that well covered, so they're giving them something different to look at.
Engage!
Oh, it's been kicked through. Now Ireland have to work to get it back, and they did in the end. So Redden works it across for Carney, and taken in the tackle of Fainga. As Ireland endeavour to get some quick ball. Now Heasley.
Leave it now!
As Redden, another poor pass. Darcy.
Stay up!
Not a lot of room in midfield.
Fine. Hold!
As Redden gets enveloped by the Wallabies. It's been some outstanding defence so far in this game. Now, up the middle goes Ireland. And he's got a knock on.
The ball is out. The ball is out.
Well, they weren't happy, the Irish. They thought that James Hall was in an offside position.
The ball is out. Scrum.
The ball was out, but Hall was offside. So I don't quite follow Bryce Lawrence's logic there. Perhaps Redden tried to milk it, but it doesn't matter. Players in an offside position, it's still offside regardless.
It's been your ball, now it's theirs, okay?
I know he was trying to get out of the way, but that doesn't matter. Still offside.
Well, we're not the only ones who are slightly perplexed, it seems. So, Samo back for Guinea. And the bounce. Carney cleverly waited until it went back inside the 22. And didn't do a lot with it after that.
No, big net gain for Australia as we head into that critical period just before half-time. Where Australia in the last few matches have been very good at accumulating points in this period. So Ireland have defended brilliantly so far, but they are going to face some heat from the Australian attack, no doubt.
It won't. It's a bad throw.
Oh dear.
Terrible throw. Way down the Australian line. So they just can't get any rhythm. Ireland's playing this perfectly, really. I mean, if they converted their goals, opportunities, they'd probably be 6 or 9 points in front. But they really are just frustrating the heck out of Australia's rhythm, their pattern. And that's, of course, what they've trained to do during the week. And that's way offline.
Palula now wasn't happy with the call, but he's got nothing to complain about.
Touch! Touch! Pause! Engage!
Redden gets it in again. Some real tension in those scrums. Now Ireland get one going. But Australia have gone down, so it won't go anywhere. But they will get a penalty.
That's a great scrum, Ireland. Cian Healy, Alexander, and huge pressure on him, and his footing gave way. Just the last 2 or 3 scrums, Ireland have got some real ascendancy in this area. So now it's Australia's turn to face a bit of heat.
Great, thank you.
It's a real battle of wits. And in the end, it's the green machine. So Rory Best to throw for Ireland. And that's not straight either.
And that's partly due to the pressure Australia put on. They're fast on the ground and matching what Ireland were trying to do as they tried to free their jumper.
Now we have an injury break, and looks like Pilota now is down.
The territory is in favour of Australia. Possession slightly the other way round. And there's the breakdown turnovers. 1, 3 from Ireland. That's all about the maul situation. We missed tackles from Australia. There's a real chance that Aussie will have a go here. O'Connor has moved across to be parked in behind Cooper. Beale's up flat in an attacking position. So even though they're a fair way back in their own half, one gets a sense that they will have a go.
Pause. Engage.
Now Guinea, it's taking a while, if at all. And in fact, Guinea gets driven back. Look at this from the Irish pack. And magnificent, absolutely magnificent. Stephen Ferris initially, and he got joined by a few mates. And they picked up Will Guinea, and back he went 15 metres.
Well, that's the pressure from the Irish scrum again as they turned Australia just a little bit. And Guinea couldn't get a clear channel.
Green ball.
To clear it. And as he put his hands on the ball, Irish forwards are entitled to release. And that was Ferris who picked him up, drove him backwards. So Ireland might get a chance to have the last say in this half.
The big Ulsterman, Stephen Ferris, who's had some dreadful injury concerns in recent years, did a big job there. As Owen Redden, last chance. Maybe they'll line up for a drop kick at some point just before half-time. But here is Keith Earls. And Ireland will have one eye on the clock, no doubt. Here is Ferris. Oh, he's lost it in contact, so that opportunity will be lost. And it's taken in by Rocky Elsom. And Australia, all coming through is O'Connell, and it's been knocked on, in fact, by Ireland. Guinea, there's a lot of pressure on Guinea, and the last time he played here at Eden Park, he had the same problem with the All Blacks. The whistle goes for half-time. It's been a titanic struggle. At half-time, it's 6-all.
Well, this is a heck of a contest. We talked before the game of the red mist that Ireland were bringing in terms of attitude, and they've transformed that into performance on the field. They've hassled and they've harried Australia. They've knocked them off their game. They're winning the forward battle just a little bit at scrum time. The breakdown, they're going forward. Australia are struggling to get their attacking fluency. So this is a real contest as we head towards the second half.
Pool C at the Rugby World Cup in 2011. And this is Eden Park at Auckland. Australia back. Ireland to return shortly. And let the battle resume. It's been a titanic struggle. First 40 minutes, 6-all, and that pretty much reflects it.
Yeah, it's been a tough contest. Ireland have really fronted up to Australia. Hassled and harried them around the breakdown area, knocked them off their fluency. They're in the huddle as they often are. They'll be calm. They've been under this sort of pressure lots of times. Here come the Irish.
And the Irish supporters pretty buoyant after that first half, in which They gave as good as they got, that is for sure. They had more possession than the Wallabies, who had a slight advantage in territory.
Ireland will get first chance to get some territory. They just have a slight breeze at their back. I don't think it'll have much influence on the game at all this 40 minutes of play. They will get a chance to make Australia come out of their half. They'll be trying to pin them down there.
Referee Lawrence signals time on. Away we go. Second half at Eden Park, and the kickoff from Sexton all the way down to O'Connor, and he returns it. Deep kick claimed by Carney. Now it's with Sexton. The runners are ready to chase, led by Carney, and nicely taken down by Guinea. Now again, Ireland are going to try and hold them up. This is a definite ploy, and it has worked. Look at Paul O'Connell looking across. Yep, no, but it's a kickoff, you see. A little bit different.
Straight from the kick, so Guinea had no chance to do anything with it. But it's a slightly different rule than if you're carrying the ball into a tackle situation.
Did you see Paul O'Connell, though? And he still wanted to know from the referee, why not?
Happy with the timing.
Because that's the rules, Paul.
Happy. Top.
So
okay, let's just stay nice and patient and balanced.
Like they'll look towards the blind side, Australia, because O'Connor has come across to park himself.
Crouch.
By Quade Cooper.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
Now Guinea serves it up for Cooper. Just in behind the Irish backline. Back after it goes Bow. And puts it on the ground. Expects his pack to get there, and they do. Oh, Sexton lost concentration and got dragged down, in a very good tackle too by McCabe. So it goes to Redden. Off now to Mike Ross, who lumbers a couple of metres. Now back for Carney. Can't kick it out on the full. Cooper. Now Quade Cooper gets it off to Beale. Always dangerous when Beale goes. He's got tremendous pace. Turns it back on the inside for Adam Ashley. Cooper, loose pass, and Ireland have tied it up. Cooper almost got it, but not quite. Now Redden, and coming through there was Vickerman. He came straight through the middle, so that was okay. So Ireland have recovered once more. And they will get a scrum. But Kirtley Beale has been a constant danger from the back.
All game. He's a great counter-attack runner. Him and Quade Cooper, who often plays at the back. In fact, most of the time in defence he plays back, and they work in tandem. And he's got good speed as well. As Darcy desperately grasps him. Boy, if that had gone to hand, it may well have been all over for Ireland, but they scrambled well.
They scrambled all right. There was 3 opportunities at least for Australia to turn that ball over, and somehow Ireland got out of it. But there's the danger. Straight away, there is the danger. The break and play, the 12 minutes at half-time. Australia get a very calm opportunity to regroup. Robbie Dean's saying, go back to what we know best. If they give us opportunities, go. Push the green button and go.
Yeah, and I think the strategy is pretty simple. They're going to take Australia on ball and hand wide, aren't they? That's what, take Ireland on. That's what they want to do. You know, the fact they ran from a scrum deep in their own half indicates that they keep playing their natural game, execute their skills well, believe they'll take Ireland in the end.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Now the scrum starts to twist and turn, and it's still Irish ball.
It's only gone that far. Scrum.
Well, Bryce Lawrence had the protractor out. He said it only went that far, not quite enough, but certainly a better effort from Australia. They were getting pummeled towards the end of the first half, so that's a better sign.
It certainly would have been something they talked about in the dressing room at half-time. Mike Ross is wanting to buy a little bit of time, I think, to make sure that the Irish scum settle this time. In a better position to combat the shunt from Australia.
Crouch. Touch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Kepu putting a fair bit of pressure on this loose head side as Ireland try to run it out. Darcy broke through the first tackle of Adam Ashley Cooper. Now dropping back is Sexton. And once again it's Cooper who's back there to retrieve. You look at attacking options first. And he drops it onto the boot. And claimed over there by Rodney Heaslip, or Jamie Heaslip it is. And Ireland run it out. Here's a good burst coming from O'Brien. All three loose forwards involved in. Now Sexton. O'Driscoll makes the kick. And this one is holding nicely. And in the end, it beats everybody.
Oh, quick ball for Ireland. And that's the key.
Australia have gone quickly, though. And Beale has drilled this away downfield. That's a mighty punt. Carney deep inside his own 22. Nothing flash from the back to Rob Carney. And his kick is a good one as well. Now Australia just want to keep the tempo up.
Yes, they certainly do. And Ireland need to be aware of that. They gave that possession to Australia very easily because it was a quick throw in. If they'd been more aware, could have set their line out. At least they get a chance to contest.
Pelota now line out throwing hasn't always been good. This time it's deflected and Genia gets that deflection. Again, Ireland trying desperately to hold Australia up off the ground. Genia to Pelota now. A lot of green jerseys there, though. Cooper, a weighted kick. And, well, it was okay, but of course Ireland do get the line-out throw.
And they shut Australia down from running there. So it's a reasonable outcome, providing they can secure the line-out ball. Gordon Darcy's a little bit slow coming back.
Well, he's just feeling the hamstring.
Yeah, and Rory Best has seen that his backline buddy needs some help, so he's gone down, and of course they're more likely to stop play for injury for a front rower than they are a midfield back.
Well, he's the bloke who's got to throw the ball, and I suppose not a bad ploy on the part of the Irish hooker. But to be concerned about Darcy, this is this wonderful combination of Darcy and O'Driscoll. World record combination in midfield.
That is never a good sign.
No.
Hamstring or a quad.
Yep, something tightening up.
Yep.
O'Driscoll and Sexton's doing all the listening.
Well, there's a bloke Australia need to do something. Ricky Samo, one of those inspirational midfield busts, make himself very apparent.
But they've kept him quiet, haven't they? He hasn't been in the game.
They have indeed.
Well, let's see how long Darcy lasts. That's a big, big bandage. So Rory Best to throw. And O'Connell to claim. And penalty.
You can't tackle them all. Number 4. No,
Against Dan Vickerman.
No.
Well, a remarkable comeback for the man who was born in Cape Town into this Wallaby side. Very little rugby, really. Just a few games of Super Rugby and back into the Wallaby setup after a 2.5-year break.
And I think there's a bit of rain in Smith.
Yep, starting to send it down. Man from upstairs, and looks very steady at the moment. More pressure on those contact areas.
Well, here comes Ireland. And they use their big loose forward trio, and they are big men, to rumble it up. As Sexton off to O'Driscoll. And O'Brien, who's been lively off the side of the scrum tonight. And again, the Wallabies being forced to make plenty of tackles. As Horwell goes in, he's offside though. He's been pinged this time. Here's O'Connell, who has been monumental tonight for Ireland.
Offside.
And it's offside against James Horwell. Well, he got the timing all wrong there.
Well, that's just advantage line pressure from Ireland. They were breaching. A late drop-off on the inside by O'Brien off O'Driscoll. Created the first punch, and some really good and quick support at the breakdown. And Horwell, and round the side. So he may well have thought he was okay and the ball was out, but that's not how it was judged.
Again, Ireland using that pass back into good effect. I've used that on a number of occasions tonight when they have had quality ball. He's been able to make some decent busts with it.
So only 2 from 4. Sorry, 1 from 3 tonight in the penalty department.
This looks good. So Sexton puts Ireland back in front. 9-6, 9 minutes gone.
Oh, well,
second half.
First blood to Ireland.
Well, this is interesting, Grant Fox, and a very key element for you to talk about. Darcy's gone, so the bandage was not good enough. The restart's come, but O'Gara's gone on in 21. Ronan O'Gara.
Okay, let's see where he plays. Sexton probably moves out one. We'll see. As Redden gets it up high, 9 points to 6. Ireland in there disputing, but they appeared to lose it forward. Australia with it though. And off goes Beale. He's been quite outstanding. Just in Irish territory. Genia makes the kick. O'Gara dropping back into the 22, and that's a long kick and a good one by Ronan O'Gara.
You know, this might be a very good option for Ireland, even though it was through injury, because a little bit of moisture around, the running game gets harder, and O'Gara is good at playing back too. He doesn't often play in the front line, so he'll be an extra defender with a good kicking game to bring the ball out with interest in terms of on the foot rather than running, and he did so very well then.
So the line-out throw is claimed by Horwell and knocked straight. Well, Ronan O'Gara, 113th cap. We talk about experience. He's 34 years of age, over 1,000 points in international rugby, including 16 tries. What a man to bring on. He's never had a lot of luck when he's played in New Zealand, but he might just be one of the deciders here tonight. 9 points to 6.
Yeah, he's at the fly half position, first 5-8 as we know it here. Sexton's moved out one.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
Irish scrum continues to be solid or penalty. Now, Johnny Sexton, I think, will continue the goal kicking. Boy, are there some options available now. So Sexton is going to grab the ball. He's the incumbent, if you like. But O'Gara wouldn't be a bad sub. Declan Kidney, I don't think he sat down all night.
Can't blame him. This is a huge match. And right now, Australia look a little bit rattled.
Well, the scrum. It's the scrum. It's all coming from here again now. And he's just saying the hand broke the bind and supported yourself. That's a penalty.
Tap on the shoulder from the skipper to Cian Healy, his Leinster teammate.
Well, this crowd's found some voice in support of Ireland. They sense a possibility of an upset here. Long way to go yet in this match. But boy, a 6-point advantage right now would be pretty handy.
Oh, now the bounce Oh, O'Driscoll almost had that. Australia stood back, and they might get out of this as Genia slings it wide to Cooper. They can score from anywhere, Australia, and Cooper gets it away for Samo. He knocked it back. A little kick forward and missed by O'Brien. Now it's been snapped up by Best. And Ireland back in possession as O'Gara sends it wide to Heaslip. And just a little hesitation from Jamie Heaslip.
Away.
And Ireland move it again. This time it's Ferris. Big, strong, blindside flanker. And it's entry against Sean O'Brien. So the penalty goes Australia's way.
Yeah, that's a bad mistake. O'Brien came right from the side.
7 from the side.
As Ireland was starting to build something. Here's a great tackle, Cian Healy.
He's
Great
had a
technique.
game, hasn't he? He's had a game. Has Healy. Now Australia have gone for the far touchline and have made it well.
Good kick too. Great kick.
Now pressure now on Pallotta now. He's got some key throws wrong tonight. And Australia have been under siege at all their set pieces.
How close was this to being a disaster for Australia? Have a look at O'Driscoll. He very nearly got this under control, and it would have been straight under the posts. So Australia are trying a rolling maul. I don't think we've seen one from them yet in this game. Looks a bit untidy, and the touchline becomes a bit of an issue as well. Ireland have managed to counteract that pretty easily. So now Genia goes short to Ben Alexander. Ireland getting as much pressure as possible there. Healy is burrowing in again. Australia don't operate that well with slow ball. And it is very slow. Now they sling it wide for Cooper. O'Connor hardly sighted in the game. Beale, he's been sighted a lot. Adam Ashley Cooper. Again, big defence. Sexton leading the charge. Now the charge by McKelman. Here's Alexander. Over the 22 go the Wallabies. Now Cooper to O'Connor. Slipped the first tackle. Ireland trying to get their hands on the ball. Now the skipper James Horwell. Right in centre field here. Wallabies. Genia looks one way, then the other. Sekope Kepu stands over the ball. Again, Ireland contesting. As Genia sends it off to Cooper. Cooper away from O'Connor. He got the pass away, and it was forwards. But there's the danger of Quade Cooper, that half break, and spotting a big man too.
Well, he saw the mismatch. It was 3-on-3, but it was O'Connell, I think, was the guy he spotted. There he is there. Saw it straight away. O'Connell was desperately trying to call for assistance from his right-hand side that didn't respond, and they very nearly paid for it, did Ireland.
Well, knock on the back of the neck here for Cian Healy. But this is a big moment for Australia's scrum. Can they find something? Can they put Ireland under enough pressure on their own goal line to create maybe a turnover or a poor kick, which still gives them an attacking opportunity?
Well, Australia, of course, tonight with the withdrawal of David Pocock, playing without a genuine open side flanker. McKelman is a big man. He's a 6 or an 8.
Well, he really is, and I can't remember calling his name, so he hasn't been in the game at all. In fact, the Australian loose forwards haven't really been in the game at all.
We get down under pressure, or we're having an injury.
Ireland, I believe, are just winning this battle up front ever so slightly, but it's enough at the moment.
If it has to, or else it has to be reset.
The Aussie scrum, he had a good shunt earlier at the beginning of the second half.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
He's certain to have another big crack here.
Crouch! Touch! Pause and go!
holding well, the Irish scrum. Heaslip. That's a very good, solid scrum from Ireland. Now Heaslip with a bit of space, and off he goes, the big man. Crunches into McKelman, and Ireland get players there. Now they free it up for O'Gara. And going to run it out from here. Bow is in a bit of space. Now Tommy Bow, the kick and chase. Oh, it bounces off like a pinball. And into touch it goes in the end. Right on halfway.
Quade Cooper. Oh, Bow's kick would have gone higher. That would have been really interesting. Oh, courage from Ireland here. They read that Australia had crammed in. And just watch Cooper. He attacked the ball.
Well, that's a knock-on by Ireland. That's a clear knock-on by the Irish player coming through from the rebound. And Australia appealed to Bryce Lawrence for that all over the place.
Not easy for them to spot, I guess, Ian. I mean, we see the replay, but change.
20 for 9 for Ireland. So Conor Murray for Owen Redden.
It's the 4th test for Conor Murray, so
it's a big halfback.
Yeah, he's a newcomer at this level, relatively.
Yes, he is. He's a big boy, right? O'Connell has been wonderful tonight. Here goes the big charging Stephen Ferris. Murray, he gets his first pass away. That's not such a flash kick. He took it outside the 22, though, did Cooper. Now, he does make a few errors in defence. He didn't really need to carry that. And he's put his side under a bit of pressure, but they've got back to help. So keen to keep the contest going, Quade Cooper. He sometimes overdoes it.
Lost forward.
Now the ball's lost forward here by the Wallabies.
Lost by 2.
So that's Pilotta now, who carried too high into contact and got isolated. He had support players outside, and he went on the inside of Beale, who called him on the inside. No support. So too high in contact, lost the ball forward.
I think you're right, but it came earlier. It came earlier, and Grant Nisbet called it exactly right. Every Australian player that was around Quade Cooper said, get it down the other end, and he refused to. He had the opportunity.
So he needs a tidy up here, Brian O'Driscoll. Just wonder how long it will be before Scott Higginbotham gets on for Australia. He is a genuine impact player. In the meantime, though, it's Andrew Trimble who is going to deputise, if you like, for O'Driscoll.
So we've got, yes, Andrew Trimble on 22.
Experienced player, 38th cap.
He's normally a winger, though, isn't he? So they've had a reshuffle here. That Keith Earls has gone to the centre position for the meantime, so they've had 2 new guys in the midfield. One, obviously, for the rest of the game, and one temporarily until skipper O'Driscoll is fixed up. I wonder how long from here if Ireland can get in the right position.
Just get a move on, get down.
Before Ronan O'Gara will look for the drop goal.
Hey, over here. And down the middle. Stay here. Down the middle.
So Conor Murray.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Reset. Step.
Bryce Lawrence will come to this side of the scrum, I'm sure. Kepu trying to point at Mike Ross there.
All 6 of them, I think. Head and shoulders, please.
All 6 of them, he thought perhaps were wrong on that occasion, all 6 front rowers. No, he stayed on the far side of the scrum.
Let's go. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
20 minutes remaining at Eden Park. And it's gone down on this near side. Sekope Kepu. James Slipper ready to come on. And Robbie Deans might be just looking at that reserve bench now. Rob Simmons down on his haunches there.
So they got quite a big blindside on Ireland, but there is only one player across there.
Engage.
Oh, penalty. Right in centre field. This is a big one.
And O'Gara's coming forward.
Well, they've gone with O'Gara.
Yep.
Sexton hit the post last time, but O'Gara, well, he's got runs on the board, hasn't he?
Well, Sexton's only 2 from 5 and hasn't gone that well tonight. And O'Gara, 113th test tonight, 1,033 test points.
Ryan O'Driscoll is back. He hasn't got a number on his jersey.
Well, Rob Simmons is on for Australia in 18. Vickerman's come off, but it's got blood pouring from the top of his head, and Slipper has made the change as well for Ben Alexander.
Big kick here for Ronan O'Gara. And up it goes, and straight down the middle.
He didn't even wait. Hit it, turned immediately. Wow, 6 points to the good. So converted try still puts Australia in front.
Quickly taken the kickoff has Cooper. Play underway in a big hurry, and the kick is returned, and Beale just holds himself in the field of play, feeds it off to Cooper, and this time the driving kick from Quay Cooper, and he's judged it nicely by accident or design.
Well, within a metre, a little bit closer than he was hoping, but it's a brilliant kick nevertheless. He will have had a message. Cut the flash stuff. We need to play the game in the right half of the field.
Official attendance 58,678.
Magnificent. Yep, outstanding. Best for Ireland. 17 minutes left. He slip off the top. Murray. Still full of running. Great burst by O'Brien. Now Murray works it across for O'Gara. Very close to the touchline. They'll desperately try and keep it in. They can't. And so a miscue by Ronan O'Gara.
Boy, haven't they got their backs up, Ireland? They are right into this. They sense a real opportunity, and there is some real enthusiasm in what they're doing.
Guys, he can't take it quickly when he's run up to the mark.
I wonder why Australia didn't compete at that last line out. They desperately need possession of this area of the ground. I think they take every opportunity to get up there.
Bit of pressure on Pelota now. I think that he's had 3 throws that have been picked up for not straight.
That's a better throw. Off the top from the skipper. Now Cooper. Away for Ashley Cooper. Good run. Decided not to release the pass. Australia now desperate. Now Samo off the Genia pass. Ireland hold him up again. Genia. Oh, that was obstruction. No question about that. O'Connell couldn't make the tackle. And referee Lawrence was right there. So it's a penalty to Ireland.
It was against Kepu. He just got in Genia's way. Not deliberately, but... Whoopsie. Whoopsie.
He created the hole.
Okay, I just thought that something had been said. Yeah, trying to get out of the way, but O'Connell couldn't get at him.
O'Gara safely into touch. And Australia back on their own side of halfway once more.
So Ireland have mixed up their line-out tactics. They've gone full line-out, sometimes short others. It's made it hard for Aussie to compete for the ball.
Best. O'Connell delivers. Murray makes the run. Good defence on O'Driscoll. Murray gets there again. Quick hands from O'Connell to O'Brien, who's got through a power of work tonight. Now O'Gara sends it on for Best. And Ireland near the 10-metre line. Here's Murray, big halfback. Rolls it back. Now they need someone to get in there.
Hold!
And it is going to be Rory Best, the hooker. Off to his loose head prop, Healy. Murray feeds it up to O'Brien. That name keeps popping up. Compare that with McKelman. Hardly mentioned his name all night. As the kick is made by Sexton. It'll come down near the 22. Ball loose. Carney chasing. Can't get it yet, but he's brought it under control. The rain tumbling down at Eden Park as O'Connell held on to by Ross, rumbling up. Murray. Here's O'Brien. Crowd roaring in support here. O'Connell releases. Healy. Great goal line defence. Ball knocked on. Outstanding defence in close by the Wallabies.
Well, that was the block that's just come on for Australia. Rob Simmons, I think, made that hit. Wow. The value of an accurate up and under, we don't see it very often from New Zealand teams. It's not a strategy they particularly engage in, but it was brilliantly weighted. And in these conditions, as there's a bit of rain about, it's a good tactic.
Well, they had a number of chases too. Australia, I don't think, were that happy with what happened under the ball, whether or not someone was actually taken out. But it was O'Driscoll in contact, I think, with Quade Cooper. But I'm not sure it was illegal.
Might have milked it a tad. Just held on to it, big Mike Ross.
It's great defence, though, Australia, and they are desperate here.
Still plenty of time remaining, 12 minutes.
Tell you what, they're not out of the woods either, not here.
They need a scrum, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Now listen, if you want to stand up and move, they do the same. Let's go. Let's go, you.
The new man on the tight head side for Australia and James Slipper. Relative newcomer. He's only had one full test match.
Crouch.
The rest of his 16 tests have been off the bench.
Pause. Engage.
Pressure, pressure. And in the end, they both go down. It's such an even contest.
Grant Fox, they've just got to get that ball back as quickly as they can.
Well, there's so much pressure on the front rows. I mean, we've seen Rory Best struggling to hook the ball sometimes, and that time to Tafu Talota now, he was struggling too.
Well, Ireland have come into this game with very average form behind them. But it hasn't mattered at all tonight. They've thrown everything at the Wallabies.
Engage.
Oh, heavens. Well, well, well. This is a gift, 3 points.
James Slipper. Oof. Collapsing.
Well, that's a big moment in this game because it could open up a 9-point lead.
Oh, Healy again. He has had a huge game. So O'Gara, this is really meat and drink for him.
Ronan O'Gara. Look at the crowd. 15 points to 6, 10 minutes remaining.
Well, this gets really hard for Australia now because conditions are well against them as well with their style, with the style of game they like to play.
They go quickly again. They just want to play this at pace. Australia. That's that man Healy again. Now Murray. Back for O'Gara. Wobbly kick down the middle. And Quade Cooper. Well, it's always danger time when the Wallabies bring it back. But they've been shut down tonight. Elsom for Ashley Cooper. Not running with any great confidence, it has to be said. as Genia pops it up for Horwell, and the skipper trying to find some sort of inspiration. Genia. Kepu again very high. This time he does get to ground though. Ireland with all the, trying to rip it away. Now Cooper looking for the inside break. That closes quickly, that gap. Genia again. Beale. And it's been lost down in the tackle. Tried to slip the pass. And Wycliffe Palu might be making an entrance as well as the Wallabies. Well, it's desperation now. 8 minutes remaining. 15-6 Ireland.
Yeah, the conditions are playing their part now. Beale just disrupted on the tackle by Jonathan Sexton. Loses the ball.
So it will be Wycliffe Palu for Rocky Elsom, who's been pretty quiet as well. So involved in the tight situation. Nothing trademarked from him tonight.
You right?
Rain might have just about set in now.
Down the middle. Stand right in the middle. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Murray into this excellent Irish scrum. It really has responded tonight as Conor Murray off for Ronan O'Gara. Another test here. Cooper waits. But there's plenty of green jerseys there again as it comes for Genia. And away goes Will Genia. Haven't had too many opportunities tonight, the Wallabies. Here's Samo. Couldn't slip the pass. Genia again. Cooper. Lovely work. Now Ashley Cooper. Chased across by Murray. Couldn't make the tackle. And the Wallabies now totally desperate to get running ball at every opportunity. Horwell held up in big defence, but they're inside the 22. 9-point margin. Wallabies have to score twice. O'Connor slipped the pass beautifully to Fainga. Oh, he threw it away, and he threw it forward anyway.
And every time Australia have threatened, it's been mainly on their left flank, the right flank of Ireland. The Irish defence has read it well and drifted. That's the no-look pass. We'll see one of them at least every game from Quade Cooper. And they swung way back to the left, which we're not going to see. But forward pass it was from Anthony Fainga.
Scott Higginbottom and 20 for Radeki Samo. Very few opportunities to run Quade Cooper against the man with a low jersey tonight. And when he got one, he just they made Cian Healy look a little bit silly, but that's what he can do. But the cover was there.
Yeah. No, your scrum. Your scrum.
Well, are we staring at our first major upset at the Rugby World Cup?
Well, we might be. I mean, we're not done yet. And you certainly wouldn't write Australia off because they can hit pretty quickly.
We got Drew Mitchell coming into the fray.
Bring him on.
For Anthony Fainga, whose last touch won't be a fond one.
Wonderful comeback for Drew Mitchell. Looked as though he was down and out.
Ireland too are going back to the bench, so they're going for Andrew Trimble and 22 for Rob Kearney. After one early mistake, he's had a strong game. Very powerful left boot.
Yes, he certainly has.
Don't go early, be
well,
patient.
the clock continues to tick. 6 minutes.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Murray. This time the Australian scrum just edging forward slightly. And Murray runs straight into Higginbotham. Surprising he wasn't on the field earlier. And Australia get the scrum.
Kicking was never going to be the right option there. Higginbotham was always had the angle on Conor Murray. He needed to go to O'Gara. If Australia score here, this game is still on for them to win.
Got the gap? Got the gap?
So Mitchell has just parked on the inside of Quade Cooper.
Right, so here goes Genia. Genia strongly, very close to the line. Will Genia.
Come back, Green. Come back, Green.
This is the big chance for Australia if they can free this one up. With less than 5 minutes remaining. We haven't had a try yet in the game. Australia burrow under. Referee looks closely. And clearly not there as yet. Taking a while to organise the ball on the ground. Now, another go. Guinea looking keen to get his hands on it, and it's going to be a scrum. So it'll have to go back 5 metres.
But more importantly, it's eating up time.
Set it up, let's go.
Less than 4 minutes now. Desperate defence by Ireland. Guinea very nearly got through.
And Scott Higginbotham having a disagreement already.
Ireland are going to go to the bench for this defensive scrum. Well, they're trying to get number 17 on, but I don't think this front row deserves to be broken up. They've been magnificent.
Well, there's our man of the match. Number 1, Cian Healy. What a performance on the loose head side of the scrum.
He single-handedly earned his side maybe 6 or 9 of their 15 points.
He's going to be around for a while too. He's a 23-year-old.
So that change has been made, and it's for big Mike Ross.
Heard before, Bryce Lawrence, referee, asked him, have you got 5 more minutes in you? Obviously not.
Let's go. Crouch.
Just over 3 minutes at Eden Park.
Pause. Engage.
Ireland desperately holding on. At this point, Australia wouldn't even come out of this with a bonus point.
No, and as the scrum
You guys are fine. Green
is
bind
being
up.
reset, it's just going to eat up another crucial 30 seconds.
You right? Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
And this will be a penalty for Australia. Quickly taken by Simmons. They need a try. They need it quickly. Now Genia off to Cooper. Intercept. Now here's a chance. This could go all the way for Tommy Bowe. They're flying after him. O'Connor's going to run him down by the looks of things. And a great tackle. He lays it back. But he's run 98 metres, Tommy Bowe.
Well, that's the game now. Tommy Bowe, a crucial play, but James O'Connor, absolutely outstanding in cover defence. He just kept coming. Bowe was tying up. O'Connor got plenty of speed. Wow.
So Pilota now's got to throw this as quickly as he can. Australia have got a long way back now. 15 points to 6 Ireland, about to cause the first major upset at the Rugby World Cup as Australia still inside their own 22. They'll try something. Oh, it's come loose. Here's an opportunity, and Murray. Oh, it's a penalty. It's a penalty. A Wallaby penalty.
Yep.
So McCabe takes it quickly. Palu takes it up for the Wallabies. Inside the last minute as Cooper gets it wide for Ashley Cooper. There's been no way through that Irish defence tonight for the Wallabies. Now the ball's loose. O'Connell lost it forward though. And it will be a scrum Australia's ball.
Easy, easy.
But we can tell you with all certainty now, Ireland are going to win this game. There's no doubt about it.
Well, they've been absolutely magnificent. Their commitment has been, well, if it can be more than 100%, it has been. There's Declan Kidney. Gert Smale from South Africa, one of their assistant coaches.
Just look at the Irish flags.
Well, I can tell you, downtown Auckland, get ready. You're about to get hit by a big green wave.
Absolutely.
How many Irish bars in Auckland?
There'll be one on every corner.
Time is up.
Pause, engage.
So the Wallabies from their own 22 with Quade Cooper. Off to McCabe. Again, the tackle is made. 10 metres in Wallabies territory. The best they can do is a bonus point out of this game, Australia. Another maul. This is a recurring theme. Ireland have held it up, and a penalty this time to the Wallabies, which Genia takes. Turns it back on the inside for McKelman. Now Genia to Beale. Genia once more. Rob Simmons is the runner. 10 metres line. Penalty to Ireland. That'll be it. Rob Carney's gone onto the field. The ball's been kicked out, but not from the mark. And this will set off giant celebrations. Already has at Eden Park, I'm sure, around the rugby world. Game is over, and Ireland have caused a big upset.
Well, there's been a couple of upsets threatening in this World Cup. None have come home, but there has one tonight, even though it's a Tier 1 nation, so we shouldn't be greatly surprised. But in their 5th World Cup match, Ireland v Australia, Ireland have finally got a win. After coming so close on a couple of occasions, they've got across the line tonight. Only their 9th win in 21 attempts against Australia. I think you're right, Ian Smith. The Irish bars downtown, well, they're going to be chocker.
Well, Brian, magnificent performance, guts, determination, everything.
Yeah, it was the performance we knew we had in us. You swear we were in Dublin with that crowd. Absolutely incredible support, and it was our job to give them something to shout about. And thankfully we managed to do that, but half the job done. And I know there's 58,000 people here, and it felt like 57,000 of them were shouting for us, but we know. Now I know there's 9,000 people packed into the O2 at home. There's people in clubs all over the country that have gotten up and had breakfast together. So we felt their support today, and we're just glad that we were able to give them something to shout about.
You must be seriously proud of the boys with the low numbers. They got big hearts.
But you know what we just said? We had to go to the well today. Paulie said it, in the captain's meeting yesterday, that we had to dig deeper than we had done in these last 5 games. And thankfully, we managed to do that. But like I said, it's half the job done. We've 2 wins, and we've 2 more to get. So, let's not, as much as we'll enjoy this, let's not lose sight of the fact we've 2 more games.
Good on you, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you.